Welcome to the Reality Kingdom, where we keep the real and reality or whatever. Period. I'm your host, Drake Ryder. I'm joined by Josiane, Tori, and Asia. And we are the first of the Big Brother off-season podcast. Why did my light turn off in the middle of my introduction? Why would it do that?
Damn.
Let me get it. We're back on. But today, let's just cut right to the chase. We're here to talk about some of the most underrated Big Brother players in history. But first things first, how's y'all's day going? Everyone having a good day?
You don't give a fuck.
I kind of give a fuck. Like, it's like 50%.
Tori, really? We just started.
I'm just saying, not enough for me to just disclose the details.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
You could just say cool.
No,
I'm happy to be here. I'll say I'm happy to be here.
And I'll agree with that.
That's it.
I'm glad to be talking about Big Brother again because this is our first Big Brother season here. So we haven't really talked about it, ever. Not like this. So this is exciting, and I love Big Brother. So
yeah, this is gonna be the first time a lot of people that aren't on like the Big Brother 7 stuff, you're gonna hear people's opinions before the Big Brother season. Because none of us have talked Big Brother unless you've been on the All-Star stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, I guess a Big Brother Canada as well, but this is like
that doesn't count.
Oh, so hey. We're talking to the ambassador, okay? Not too much.
Canada.
Not too much. Canada. Okay. So we in the house, we're representing, but yeah, we're here.
Keep your routine over there.
Okay, and who said I was offering?
Ooh.
And who said I was offering? Right. Right.
I'm just saying, people bringing up Canada.
And rightfully so. We are the blue
and exit.
What a song. Are you like the closest?
Hey, BB Can's back, guys.
BB Can is back. Big Brother 13 winner might be on the pod. You never know. BB Canada.
And I might have to get back into BB Can because I watched a few seasons. Ica seasons I had to watch. I had to see my girl. But I haven't seen all of them.
Okay, T. We'll kiki about that. I want to hear your thoughts.
For today's podcast, though, like I said, we're talking about the underrated players. So we all sent in a list to me of 4 people that you think are underrated. And I made a slideshow. If you do like it, I made a slideshow. If you don't like the slideshow, Farrell and Lee sent it to me. They found it somewhere. So we're just going to go by one at a time. The person... Well, I'm stumbling over my words. Let me struggling. But I'll just say we'll go one at a time, bring up one of the players from your list, just talk about their games, and then we can all give our insight and thoughts about them. And if you don't know who this person is, just be open about that. Be like, hey, I don't know shit about this person. Because not everyone here has seen every season. Let's just be open about it. Does anybody want to go first with any type of player?
I guess I'll just go first. Let's get it out the way. Let's get the main thing out the way. Let's just start with this. Let's get the vibes hot in here.
How do I? Here we go. What's your first player? Who's your first player, Tori? I'm so curious.
All right, everyone. So there's going to be a reason why today I am sporting a Nicki Minaj shirt. If you cannot tell, Pink Friday 2. I am sporting this Nicki Minaj shirt because I have to.
Dude, that means you just that motherfucker.
No, I had to support Amanda. Pull her up. Amanda Zuckerman, 7th place in VB15. And I know what everybody is thinking. Y'all, we're not talking about the racism, the misogyny, the homophobia, the xenophobia,
right?
Anti-Semitism. Oh, wait, okay. She's Jewish, so never mind. But
that don't...
But I will say, Amanda has imposed a strategy pretty successfully that not many people could have imposed, which is bullying your way to the top. I'm sorry. Her being able to bully the entire house the way that she did, even her own allies, and still make it as far as she did. And the only reason she really goes home is because of Andy. That's the only reason she goes home is because of Andy. If Andy's not there, or if Andy's not smart enough to come up with such a complicated plan, Amanda is still there, and she might actually make it to the end because by that time, she already amended her relationship with Alyssa. which already tells you a lot about Amanda, because if she could say all that crazy stuff in the house, especially towards Alyssa, literally bullying Alyssa, screaming in her face from the top of her lungs, and Alyssa's still genuinely willing to work with Amanda, that tells you that she was able to have these connections with people regardless. And people, for some reason, are still just like under her thumb, even when they're mistreated by her. Not saying it's good, but I'm saying it's kind of interesting how people won't talk about her, rank her so low. But, you know, people always talk about people like, I'm sorry, Josh Martinez.
Oh, not too much. King.
Not too much on the comparison. Josh Martinez is the king. But I will say they did employ some similar tactics in the beginning. And the only difference between Josh and Amanda and those tactics of getting up in people's face and all this stuff is that Amanda was a racist. But Amanda was also doing it on her own accord, okay?
Pretty big difference.
Amanda was doing it on her own accord.
I don't even like this comparison.
I would say people like Josh in the house. Like people there's some people who didn't like Josh, but I think the majority of the people were okay talking to Josh.
That's because Josh was in the majority group and he was doing this under Paul's thumb, right? But Amanda, she had a group around her and she was the leader and she was just doing it just to do it, and it still worked. So I'm saying, you know, Josh was more of a tool, and people like Josh, but he did like do a lot in that house. Like he did very similar things to Cody and Jen. So,
but the difference with him is, at the beginning he was like a puppet for a while, just doing what the fuck ever. But then it got to a point where he started laying down the groundwork to win the fucking game with the goodbye messages. So like, I feel like they both got strategy, sure. Okay. He had enough to get him right to the motherfucking money, to the bag. She didn't have enough, and she is genuinely unlikable. I don't think Josh is genuinely unlikable. He can be unlikable for sure. But I think she's just unlikable. Like, she's just like, yuck. I don't like,
I don't know. Call me crazy, but I think she's evil. Like, I actually think she's evil. Like, I think she's mean-spirited. I think she's vile. I think she has a nasty essence about her. Whereas Josh was just, to be fair, Josh was never the ringleader, right? Like, you could argue, if you want to make a comparison, I would compare her more to Paul than I would Josh from their season. But she is a nasty and vile human. Like, and I don't think she's underrated. I don't think she's underrated in the context of her season.
That makes sense.
But the thing I'm saying is, okay, let's step away from Josh. I know we all hung up on Josh because we all love Josh. And I'm just to be clear to the audience, I am not saying Josh is Amanda. I'm just comparing tactics and strategies. Another comparison here, and we did have a winner. And I hate to bring his name up, but Evil Dick. We do have Evil Dick.
Next.
Who won?
No.
And then,
what we not gonna do?
It's like comparing trash to manure.
That was
the game. Are we not going to have the hard conversations? Even though the game was rigged, I'm saying Amanda, she had the potential to make it to the end and still get votes because she made up with Alyssa. If she survived the double eviction, she had the connections to be in those final 2 seats. And I really think people would have still voted for her, even though they hated her, honestly.
I will say that I do think if she was a likable person, if she was like not just being mean for the sake of being fucking mean, not being mean for game, it was just her being nasty just to be nasty. And then she would try to play the game. Yeah, you're playing the game, okay, but you're also, when you get mad at somebody, you're screaming at them, you're bullying them, like you're being racist. It's not like, I don't think it was. I don't know. At season 15, maybe it was a way for her to win. Maybe it was back then. But in the grand scheme of all the seasons, she is fairly where she should be low.
I will say, I think the thing about Amanda is she's a very aggressive player. Even like she ran the first part of that game alongside people like Helen and Andy. But she's like so unlikable. When you're in Big Brother 15 and you're the one that everyone thinks is unlikable, there has to be some type of like situation and like problem with you. Because Aaron's in the house and people are like, Amanda has to fucking go. But I will say she's very, like, I think just like looking at her, the way she plays the game, she is very smart. She knows the game. The week where she gets Alyssa, who she's been tormenting all season, to flip to keep her, that is impressive gameplay. But I don't think she could win the season. I think even if she makes it to the end, that jury hated her. Like they hated her guts. Like I have the wiki page pulled up, and literally the second line is quickly caused controversy within the house due to her threatening comments made to other house guests, namely Candace, Jesse, and Alyssa. Like that's the second line when you look up anything about her.
Like when I think of Amanda, I think about the fact that she was one of two people who got booed out the house in their exit. I think Aaron was first, and then it was Amanda. That whole house lacks I think they're all in psychosis, to be quite honest, which is why to me 15 is such a weird season. I think she was a good player despite her nasty and vile spirit. Mm-hmm. But again, like if we look at that season as a whole, like I think Amanda is considered quite up there. Like I think they talk about Andy, I think they talk about Amanda. I mean, the bar is kind of in hell, but I don't really think of anyone else on that season in terms of like really leading the game. So if we're talking about underrated, the only thing I disagree with is the fact that I don't think she's underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair.
Does anyone else have anything else to say about Miss Amanda Zuckerman?
What you gonna do, girl? I'm sorry, no, that was an error. Sorry.
Hello?
Sorry.
And look, they would have had a brawl in that motherfucker because I would have put hands on them bitches. When I watched that season back, I would have put hands on them bitches for real.
I could probably go probably another 10 minutes about Amanda, but I'll spare y'all.
If you have more to say, go ahead. The floor is yours.
I got one more thing I just want to say.
We gotta
just one more thing to close it out.
That's quick with it.
I just want to make it clear, again, not supporting her as a person. However, I feel like there is something about that aggressive style gameplay that we don't get in modern Big Brother anymore. Because I think there is something to being able to have a group of people hate you and still keep you in the house. It's kind of like, you guys know season 48 of Survivor, which was horrible to watch but everybody knew what was happening and nobody wanted to like make an action. And obviously like Joe and Ava, they did it in like a much different way. Honestly, Chow, what we heard about Joe, he could have been he probably was yelling at them people. But I think that is a strategy that people can use if you have like a certain personality for it, if you're like an over dominating figure. But you don't have to like necessarily bully people. But I think bullying as a strategy is a strategy. Is it a good one?
No.
Maybe not. But I feel like you can still win from it. I do think psychologically there are times where people will give people that they hate the win just because they realize that they have a good game. Especially if like she went to the end with somebody like, honestly, like Spencer or something. I don't think Spencer will get no vote.
That jury loves Spencer. Like, unironically, they did. Like,
you
Spencer.
Think so?
Yeah,
that's what they said.
Extra press for it. Yeah, I think the only person he can't beat is Andy. But it's
nobody was beating him.
Yeah.
Damn.
I will say Amanda does. Not to give her any flowers or anything. I'm gonna give her like a nibble. I would say her confessionals out of everyone on that season, like she probably had one of the best confessionals in general, like in terms of like delivery and tone. Even though she was nasty and vile, like when I think of her, I think of her confessionals and like I think she was saying.
If she wasn't a terrible person, she could have been like a campy all-time villain, like unironically.
Well, yes,
because you can be a mean and be a bully on reality TV and not be a nasty fucking.
Exactly.
Yeah, she you gotta know the line, and she crossed the line. You gotta know.
My dream is with somebody to be doing this in the Big Brother house, but without like the racism and the homophobia and everything, but just like. I don't know. I feel like there is something to it, but just don't be extra with it. Like, just don't be a horrible person when you do it.
I fear you will pave the way. Let it be the example, Queen.
Oh no, that wouldn't be my strategy. I don't have that. I'll be crying as soon as somebody talk back to me.
You've been on enough pods where I do believe that would be your strategy.
I feel like.
I would like bully people, but like one-on-one. Like I'm not gonna like bully you in front of everybody. Or I would like do a thing. Like I would get a group of people to bully. Like I would like
come on, group thing.
Yes. Come on, Paul.
Okay, Paul.
But yeah, that's it.
I guess we can.
Thank you guys.
go down the line in order.
Nicki Minaj.
It's crazy. Josiane, do you have someone that you want to bring up next?
Who should I pick? Give me my Black Queen, Miss. Oh no, wrong one. Wrong Black Queen. I know the other one. The other one.
I forgot you had.
You don't all look the same.
Miss Monica Bailey. Hallelujah.
I forgot
you want to talk about. Yeah, I fear I'm logged in. You want to. Okay. When I thought about what it means to be underrated, I pulled up the definition. We're going to get academic in this bitch. Something or someone is considered to be less of value, importance, or quality than they actually are. You want to talk about someone who paved the way? Miss Monica, I am Brooklyn Bailey, does exactly that. She eats every time. She comes into the house. She was one of the most liked players in the house, despite her strong personality and rubbing people the wrong way. And back in the BB2 days, like these people were like honest, like they'll tell you exactly. Some of them had homophobia issues. Some people were low-key racist, microaggressive, but they come to the same conclusion. They end up loving Monica. I think her honesty does her so many favors. The first week she's in the minority vote with Dr. Will Kirby and Shannon on Mike's HOH with I forget that old white woman's name, leaving the house over Nicole. And despite feuding with one of the biggest powerhouses, both powerhouses, she beefs with Will, she beefs with Nicole. She ends up being allies with them at different points in the game, so much so, and she creates a strong ally in Krista. And she makes it to the very end to third place. I think she gets cut at the end because she was going to win. Nicole cuts her. And I genuinely think, if she would have sat between either Nicole or Dr. Will, she would have won simply because of her social game. Is her strategy the best? No. But most of the time she is in a power position. She's in the middle and she gets along with most of the people in the house, which I think is why she's underrated, because we kind of think of her as, when you do think of her, I feel like people don't even really acknowledge her presence that much. But when you do think of her, you might think of like her personality more so than how she did in the game. So that's why I picked her. I think she eats.
I agree.
I do want to say I haven't seen the season, but I do know. I've seen clips. I haven't seen it throughout. But I do know who she is, and I have seen her be talked about more recently, been, talked about like as a better player, as, people don't give her enough props, enough flowers. So I think that maybe like the ties are changing with how people view her game. But again, like I said, I haven't seen the season in its entirety, so I can't say a whole lot. But yeah, Black Queens,
Yeah, I definitely agree. This is actually my mom's favorite player. When you were talking, I was like, oh, it sounds like I'm having a conversation with my mom, because that's literally like half the stuff that she be saying. Like when Rachel came back for BB27, she was like, they never brought back Monica. Like, I don't know why they never bring back Monica. Like, she wants Monica to come back. So if anybody at CBS is hearing us, Monica if she still want to be in the Big Brother house, she can still come back, because she still got some fans out there. But yeah, I think she was like super adaptable as a player overall. I just don't know why people don't bring her up often, but yeah, it's kind of odd because she made it really far, but you don't ever see her on people's like tier list rankings or anything.
Do you want to know why?
Oh yeah.
Love a black woman. Hey.
I do think part of it is, I feel like for a long time people overrated Dr. Will's game, and then as more of the social media and like deep dives into Big Brother 2, people start prepping Nicole's game, and so people undervalue Monica's game because like, oh, now we're gonna step up Nicole's game, because Nicole is like the real inventor of strategy in Big Brother, but that doesn't mean Monica didn't have anything going on. And I think some people talk about, oh, she wasn't this master strategist. It was Big Brother 2. There's like 2 good strategists in the whole season. Her social game is impeccable, though. Like Josiane said, she's like constantly in the middle. No one's like really ever targeting her, and she just keeps it real the entire season, where I believe she beats everyone in that end game if she makes it to the end.
And the show is so new. Like, I think about when these shows first start, you're really just doing whatever the fuck. Like, you're figuring shit out. So when you think about that, where there isn't a lot of strategy laid out, it wasn't a blueprint. People go on these shows now, we watch the seasons, we watch highlights. There wasn't a blueprint. So whatever she brought was original. So
Can someone remind me of the end game? Was it kind of more like she was like not like kind of willing to lose to Dr. Will at that point or something? I kind of don't remember the final.
Well, her
where she got out.
Dr. Will kind of just like link up to take down Nicole and Hardy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she just loses the last HOH.
She doesn't throw it to Will. I think Will actually throws the final 4 HOH, I believe, to Monica, so that she can put up, I believe it was Nicole and Hardy. But they unite fairly early on because initially in the vote, she's like, her and Will are opposite sides of the house. While she votes with on the same page, I don't want to say same vote as Will, she connects better with the other people, which is the other alliance outside of Chilltown. And then as the game evolves, we see her take that middle position really well with Krista because it's Chilltown versus everyone else. And then there are people who are in that middle position, like Monica, like Krista, who kind of benefit from the chaos of everyone around them. And that's one of the advantages that I think Monica has. The only person she kind of beefs with is Nicole, but Nicole puts her up on the block first, and then she wins HOH and puts her up again. And even then, Monica's one of the last people on that season who gets put on the block. I think Bunky is the person who stays off the block the longest, and then Monica's second. But when she gets on the block, she stays until final 3. Bucky gets on the block and he immediately goes. So I don't know. I think she eats.
She eats.
Yeah, she should have been on All Stars. Like we've been saying that like during the All Star podcast a lot, but like, why was she not there? She should have been.
Yeah, it's so odd. Well, we know.
Yeah.
We know. I don't know why I keep saying that.
They needed room for Howie.
Well, yeah, but also like her 9/11, like game aside for a second, she plays a big role in like positioning
9/11?
the season and what it is. Yeah, because 9/11 occurs during the season and one of her cousins dies because she's from Brooklyn, New York. And so like a big part of that and like a time capsule of that show was the reaction to 9/11, which again, like I think her as a character, as a person, as a pivotal arc or anchor in this season is undergoes, like people don't acknowledge enough what she contributes to just different elements of the game.
Yeah. Does anyone else have anything to say about Monica before we go on?
That's Mother, and she is Brooklyn.
She is Mother. Asia, do you have anyone? Oh, who do you want to bring up?
Let me look at my list again. I would like to bring up.
I'm so nosy.
Big Brother 16.
Oh,
Amber B.
Oh,
Borzotra. Yeah. Now the reason I picked Amber is the game started off, and the way it started off, she was good. She was kind of like in the middle. She was just coasting, and once the whole Caleb obsession came along, it kind of tanked her game. And every time I rewatch it, because this season is it's an entertaining season to like binge. It pisses me off. It angers me so much because the whole reason she could not advance, could not continue playing a game is because Caleb was obsessed with her and would not let her continue in the game if she wouldn't accept his advances.
I'm sorry, the captions are crazy. Did she have any? It's
I was reading that as I was talking.
Damn.
I couldn't, because you go to the Big Brother wiki, it'll say loyalties. She has none, and like I can't remember.
A chance to do shit.
That's what, because Caleb was so weird. I think the only person that kind of liked her was like on a personal and game level was Cody, but I didn't want to just do Cody and then do Caleb was weird. So I thought it'd be funnier to leave Cody off.
I really do feel like she didn't get a chance to do anything. Like he should have been taken out of the game. The way that he was treating her, I feel like he should have been taken out. He should have been, or somebody should have talked to him. Like something should have happened because she was stifled. She was stuck. She couldn't do shit. She wasn't part of anything. And when he wanted her to leave, because of course he's in alliances with all these men that will listen to him for some fucking reason. I don't understand why he was so liked at all. But and then got her ass at home. I mean, he got on the block. Was he the HOH when she was up?
I didn't write down. I didn't write that down, but I don't believe he was.
Because I remember he had a weird conversation with her.
I think it was Frankie. It was either Frankie or Zach. I get confused because of the whole like 2 HOH situation. So I don't know who got dethroned or whatever, but whoever it was Zanky, one of the two. I think.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to Amber, she does start the game actually in a pretty good position. She's in the bomb squad, and then week 2 happens, and Devin just blows up the bomb squad. So that's no longer. And people forget she's the other HOH during week 2 that gets dethroned. So it's over like her whole game is being exploded, and she gets dethroned, and she's nominated every week until she leaves. She just wins Battle of the Block for week 3 and week 4. She kind of just didn't have a chance.
And I also feel like since she's gone on to the challenge and she's won and she's done good on those seasons, I feel like that's not because it's not apples to orange. It's not even apples to oranges, those competition shows. But I feel like if she would have had room to breathe, she might have been able to make those relationships and get further into Big Brother. But, we'll never know.
I wonder, like, to your point about the challenge, I haven't watched the last, I think, 2 seasons of the challenge. So if she was on it, I don't know how she did. I don't think so. I think she was pregnant.
Yeah.
But I think Amber's issue kind of lies to the same thing, which is her social connections. Like, I feel like both in the challenge and Big Brother, she struggles with like getting people on her side enough so that she doesn't have to fight for her life. And I think to your point, and like kind of what you're talking about the challenge, but also to your point about her winning constantly, she has to rely on her competitions. So like I kind of forgot how she was as a player, but it's coming back to me now. I'm feeling very That's So Raven. And I think I would be interested to see after the life that she's lived and the experiences she's had, if she could be able to like lean in more into like the social game of things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know this lady.
Oh,
you gotta say a single thing this whole time.
sorry to this man.
I think most players do get better over time when it comes to strategy, because you live life, you go through things, and you learn about different people and just out in the world living life. So I do think that probably typically if people learn and grow, which she does seem like that type of person. Like I mildly follow her on social media, like keep up with her kind of. So like she does seem like that type of person that is learning and growing. So I do feel like I think she would do good if they did another not an All Stars, but what are we talking about? A second,
like a second.
Yeah, I think she would do good.
Yeah, she was in the running for All Stars, like according to the rumors, which would have been a random pick for All Stars.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, when
that's like that's like the equivalent of Dave to me, David.
That's not the same. Don't do that.
No, because that's real. I don't know if her impact was that big. Like, I'm curious when you say she's underrated to you. Why is it because of her potential, or like why do you consider her underrated? Truly, like the essence of it.
I feel like if she was let to truly play the game, she would have. She would have went somewhere. I don't know if she would have won 16. I don't think that was in the cards for her on 16. But I do think that she would have been able to move further in the game and would have been able to build the connections. And she isn't the best at the social game by far, but she is able to win competitions. And if she's, get longer in the game, maybe she wins something pivotal that takes her further. I don't know, but I do think because of what Caleb did, it's not like something that they do. Like David, for example, he fucked his own game up. Not David. I'm thinking about that other nigga, the from the Bomb Squad.
Devin.
That's him. Devin fucked his own game up. Like when that was in his own hands. I feel like Amber's game at some point it left her hands. So that's why I'm like, that's why I feel like she's underrated, because it wasn't in her control.
Yeah, I do feel like if Amber plays Big Brother like 100 times, more than not, she does like pretty solid almost every time she plays. I just think 16 is like a terrible cast for her. And with someone
Yeah.
like Derek who like takes complete control of the game, Caleb was being weird to her. And from my memory, Frankie did not like her either. And Frankie also had a lot of influence on the house. So, is there anything else to say about Amber before we move on? Challenge champion Amber.
I mean, beautiful gowns, beautiful gowns.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say.
Right. Well, that means I'm next, and I gotta figure who am I gonna do? Because I had some chick picks. Let's go with my king, one of my favorite players of all time. For maybe
brother.
Whoa, you can see who it's over. He's one of my favorite players of all time for literally maybe no reason other than I just like this guy. He seems like a good dude. It is G from Big Brother 4.
I don't know this man.
This one's actually gonna be one of my picks. I'm not even lying.
I love G.
Really?
Let's do some Drake lore real quick, okay?
Okay.
I know this about Drake. Drake's great grandfather is Asian. He's a Chinese man. So when I first got into Big Brother, I've always felt some type of way about G. Like I know I am white and ginger, so I don't know how the family dynamics work either. But I've always been connected to G because like I just always rocked with G. Like this is my guy, and I think people undervalue his game in Big Brother 4. Does he have a flop HOH? Yes, he does. Week 2, terrible G week. That's a terrible week.
Yes.
But after that, he plays a really good game, and he's the only person in the house with him and June who used the X's twist to his advantage to ride the middle for the rest of the end game. He gets all the way up to 5th place. He's never in danger because Robert and Justin were going to go over him every single time if his side didn't win HOH. He had all the information. It's just he was too loyal to June, and she cut him at 5 because, of course, he's a bigger threat than Robert. He's fucking G, and Robert is Robert. Robert is a non-factor. So I think his middle game is very impressive. He does have that really bad HOH, and then his second HOH isn't perfect as well. He takes out like Jack. He goes out to Jack and Erica. He probably should at that point turned on June, but she just turned on him first.
Yeah, I completely agree. G was gonna actually be one of my choices. The only reason I didn't put G is just because even though he was playing the middle, like you said, he never had like another solid like I felt like he never had like a solid connection with somebody that was like good enough where they would choose him over somebody else, and that included June too. Like June obviously chose like Allison over him in the long run. And I feel like he could have made a little bit more efforts there, especially because there were times where people were really feeling for him because Erica was being like racist and stuff. And I think like something else happened in the house and they were like really feeling for him. And he could have really used those times to his advantage and his connection with June too. Because there were times where like Justin and Robert were catching on to June being a flip-flopper in the house. And G was joining them on that. But I don't know. He was really close to them, but I feel like he could have chosen to gotten closer to either Robert or Justin to help get further in the game. But I don't know. That's the only reason why I didn't choose him. But I do agree he's underrated because June gets all the credit, but he was the other half in that. And it's like he was useful. It's not like he was like a complete like idiot. Is he the best player? No, but I think June needed Allison at the end to win. G could have probably won with like a couple different people at the end, I think. So
I'm hearing y'all, and I'm trying to be equal. I'm really trying to hear y'all. My thing with G is that like every time he has the opportunity to make something shake, he flops. I fear. Like his HOHs were in fact flops. Like they were flops. Like when I think of G, I think of June. That's why I'm like, is he underrated or is he right where he belongs? Like what did he do that we are just not acknowledging that elevates him to being more rated than he currently is? Like I would love to hear it because right now in my head I feel like he's right where he belongs.
I'm saying he's like underrated. I'm not saying he's like some top tier player, but I think he's like an above average player. Like if we were giving him like a scale of like a 0 to 10, I think he's around like a 6.5. And I think some people don't view him that high. I also think he's in the middle of those three stooges. Robert and Justin both would have chose him when it comes down to it. And then also he is very like not benefited from the X Factor twist, where there's already a majority alliance against him the moment he walks into the house. And that dictates the entire game. And so Dana does some Dana things. But even then, after the whole Dana HOH where she takes out who did she take out? David. He still has people from the other side always against him. I think if comps go a different way, we're looking at a world where G is the winner of Big Brother 4. He's not a better player than June or Allison, but I think he's like firmly placed the third best game of that season.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's more of a well-rounded player. I think maybe because it's hard because I do rank Allison high, but maybe I would rank her and G on the same. Just because Allison, she has won an HOH, I'm pretty sure before, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
So,
week
but
4.
so
And
that's
the
why
final
I
week
would
4.
think. Yeah, so that's why I think it's like they're kind of like equal in the sense that they're well, I would say G is honestly more well-rounded than Allison overall, but Allison's just cuntier. So, it's kind of hard because it's like he's a boring-ish player. Like, I think if he played like in a regular Big Brother season, like he probably like wins, honestly. But it is the X Factor twist. It's June being there. It's him like still like it's just like all that stuff with June, honestly, because I feel like he's just so well-rounded as a player. I don't know, and people just don't talk about him.
Okay, I hear you.
We all have flop HOHs every once in a while. It happens to the best of us. Okay, It's happened early. I've played many of orgs. Flops happen. Sometimes you got to flop to learn to grow.
Yes.
Okay?
Me personally, I've never had a flop HOH, but to each their own.
We're just some of us were playing orgs at 14 and we were flopping, okay? Because we didn't know what to do.
Okay, you know what? And I'll give you grace for that. 14 is crazy. 14 is crazy.
So yeah, I just think overall, he's just like the definition of like solid. Like if I had to pick like a solid Big Brother player, I think it is G. Like that's why he's not one of the greats, because he definitely has his flaws, but he still is like just good enough.
Exactly.
Okay. I see. I feel like what you're saying is he's not getting the credit that he is due necessarily. It's not high esteem. It's not summa cum laude, but it's there. Yeah. And I can back y'all on that.
Yeah, because he deserves, I think, at least maybe I could see him in a second chances type season too. Just because, like, I feel like things would be really different if June was not there. It's just literally the fact that June was there. And it's kind of hard to separate their games. So it's like one of those. Yeah. And not to bring up season 48 of Survivor again, but it's like your a Camilla Kyle. I don't know, something about that season. Like I think back to it because I like binge watched it just recently, like this summer before 50. So that's why it's fresh on my mind. But it's just like so funny when you binge watch it, like in retrospect. But it's kind of like a Kyle and Camilla thing where it's like your games are like way too close, and that's why Kyle ended up winning. That's why Kyle gets all the credit. But Camilla was doing stuff too. You know what I'm saying? So
I think what for me this season, I just think about the women of the season more than I think of the men in general. Like it's almost like, well, yeah, it's almost like if I had to compare it to something, I know Tori was talking about too smack about Big Brother, Big Brother Canada, but I must bring it up. It kind of reminds me of BB Can 6 in a way, where the women are just like controlling it, and the men are kind of there. And then it doesn't mean all the men are bad. It's just that like the women are controlling it and kind of directing things, in my opinion.
I think like, BB Can 6 is the Canada season I had the least amount of knowledge on, because like the episodes are different than the feeds from what I've heard.
Yeah,
I think like in a Canada comparison, he's like Derek, where it's like he's just solid. Like I can't think of many things he does wrong, but he doesn't do too many things great. But the thing is, I don't know much about Derek's game, so for all I know, he's terrible, or all I know, he's great. I just know. But I think that's it's like a normal guy who, if he gets to the end, he probably wins. But will he get to the end? I don't know.
Okay, I hear you.
All right, does anyone have anything to say about G?
Only thing is, in Modern Big Brother, he'd probably like be able to comp out, honestly.
Absolutely.
The Blockbuster, like he'd definitely be able to comp out, and he's just likable too. Like I can see him being like a Keanu, where they try to get him out because he's but it's for the opposite reason as Keanu. They're trying to get Keanu out because he's annoying and good at comps. They're gonna try to get G out because he's good and he's a good person to talk to, and he's good at comps. So, which is two very different types of people. And Keanu made it far, and they hated him. So that's what I'm saying. G, he could probably win. But
all right, now we're back to Tori. Who's your next person you want to talk about?
How can you follow up Amanda? That's the question.
I'm gonna talk about somebody. I'm gonna talk about We'll pause my MAGA for now, and we'll talk about Vince. We'll talk about Vince. We'll pause the MAGA. We'll save the MAGA for my next.
Oh, I'm with you, sister. I'm with you. I'm with you, sister. This right here.
Yes. Okay.
I laughed crying when he was in that fucking egg suit. I cried.
I will say I had the most fun finding photos for Vince.
He is such a king. And my thing is the way that like people talk about Vince. I get it, y'all. Vince is a snake. He's slimy. He's a crybaby. He was under Morgan's thumb at a lot of times. But at the same time, Vince had a lot of control over the game. He basically kind of controlled the entire game up to a certain point, especially once Rachel left the game. The person who was really controlling the game was Vince. And that's why I think if Vince, it really comes down to that final 2 speech and also that last HOH. Him like not winning that last HOH really fucked him over. But actually kind of didn't because he went with Ashley, which would have been the right choice to make anyways. But the real thing is like his final speech, like he was so defeated by the time he got to the final speech that he couldn't even like give a good speech or any good answers. And if he sat there in those final 2 chairs and really owned every single thing that he did throughout the season, I think he would have at the very least garnered more votes and it would have been a much closer vote. Because I do think Lauren would have went back to him. I do think somebody like a Kelly might. I think Kelly is just like so crazy. She might go back if he admits that he's a piece of shit. Like, especially because like Kelly and like Ashley didn't necessarily have good relations. Like, people be like, oh, social queen. But a lot of people did not like Ashley in that house. Like, if we're being for real, people did not like her like the whole season. And they voted for her because people ended up hating Vince more. But my thing is,
the game sucked.
But the thing is, it wasn't that bad, okay? Because even though he was a crybaby, he was a snake, he was a slime, people still changed their minds. They still used vetoes on him, and they still worked with him. And he was basically always safe from the block after those 2 times being on the block. He was always safe from the block. They never put him back up there. And there's something about that manipulative like thing that he's doing, like, I don't know what you call it, but he's definitely doing some manipulating and stuff. But my thing is like, if he just owned it, I think those same people who were angry at him wouldn't have been as angry at him and might have voted for him.
Yeah, I think Vince is like getting confidence away from being maybe like the best player ever because he's like so like we said, the social game has its flaws, but while you're in the house and playing the game, everyone was drawn to him. Everyone wanted to work with him. If you needed a plan, Vince had to be part of the plan for it to work. And then they would get evicted and they'd be like, Vince is a piece of shit. Like, that's how every single person experienced this season. Because he has this thing where he cries. He's a crybaby at the end of the day, but it works. It's effective. You feel bad for him while you're in the house. People take pity on him, but they still need him in the game. And I saw how he would talk about the game. He is smart. He would always know like the right moves to make, but he was scared to make people mad or upset, so he wouldn't make those moves. And I think if he was just a more confident person, he could have genuinely like won and like dog walked this entire season. He just wasn't confident in himself, which is unfortunate, but he has a lot of potential. And I think Ashley is a better player than Vince. I think Ashley played the better game that season. But I think people forget that Vince is also a good player in his own right. He's just a very unique player. Maybe the most unique person to ever play a game of Big Brother.
I don't think he's a bad player. I wouldn't say he's a bad player at the game, at strategy. But underrated wouldn't be a word I would call him because you made second place and all of these accolades you guys are giving him, talking about everybody loved him and all this, and he still lost against Ashley. And people seem to not like Ashley from week 1, week 2 with the whole Showergate bullshit, which was involved both of them, which was crazy to me. But I don't know. Like, I just can't see him as being underrated. Like, I think he's a good player. I think he would probably do better if he, went to therapy, sat on some lady couch and talked it out. He got some shit to work out. But Yeah, and I mean, like, of course, things are to his advantage. He uses sympathy. You use that's what you're supposed to do in the game. But I don't think he didn't stand on anything, which y'all already, kind of said he didn't stand on much, which like made him seem weak. And he slithered his way to top 2 and then lost final 2.
All right, I'm here to speak my truth. When we were recapping the season, I came on Reality Kingdom, and I think I should, maybe I was on there. I can't remember if I did it once or twice or whatever the amount of times. And I stood on my ground, and the family, the fans, the people, the subscribers, the viewers hated me for defending Vince. But I'm gonna speak my truth now. I think genuinely he had that house on lock. And you know why I back you, sister, on this if he's underrated? Because it's like y'all erased the entire season because y'all don't like him. Because y'all want to uplift other people. You can still uplift people and acknowledge the truth. He ran a strict program, a crazy, chaotic, nonsense program, but a program nonetheless. That was a power player. He was always deciding, he was always helping decide the votes. He was always on side. The issue is brother was with too many allies. He gave his word to too many people, and he got caught in the cookie jar and people got irritated. I genuinely think he is a good player. He's maybe Vanessa Russo's long distant evil cousin, if you will. If you will.
Yes, I see it. I see it.
If the audience would walk with me for a moment.
Speak your truth,
because if we're being real, the competition wins. The fact that he had allies left, right, and center, everywhere he looked, ooh, ally, ooh, alliance. Like he did eat. He did eat. Y'all didn't like him, but he did eat. I fear. Like y'all don't want to give him his 10s, and that's why I think he's low-key underrated. Like, do I think he's the best? Do I think he's the best player out of that season? Debatable, perhaps. Does he have bad jury management? Does he have bad jury management? Absolutely. Does he need to take a public speaking class before he thinks about doing any reality TV show after this? Well, yes. And in fact, I will recommend him also quite a few books to read. But that being said, I do think he is underrated. If we did not have Vince in this season would have been a flop and a chop. I don't care what none of y'all say. This season works so well. Morgan and Vince work so well. It takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 people. You see me? So I'm with you, sister. I think he's
without the guy in the relationship.
That's true.
Well, yes.
I will say, I think if Vince was more like, it's weird because he's the most self-interested player I've ever seen on live feeds until we get the jury where he's like, he's more self-interested for Morgan's game. If he was more self-interested for himself when we get to that jury phase, there is a world where Vince is the winner because he has the strategic game. The strategic game, the social game, and he's really good at comps. He's won HOH from breaking the record for most HOHs in a season. He just kind of just gives up for some reason, and it's just like self-esteem stuff because he had all like the ability to win this season. I think he's just really bad in power. I think that's what it is. I think if he's on a season where he's the underdog the entire time, he can like steamroll it somehow from the underdog position.
That does make sense because I feel like he does play a lot better. Like even when he was on the block, having the way that he kind of like had Morgan convince, the way him and Morgan worked for Zach to basically go home and not for him to go home, and for him to like actually put that on Morgan and like convince Morgan when Morgan, one, had a crush on Zach at the time, and two, Zach had a way to get off the block at the time, but that Morgan convinced him not to use, which was one of the dumbest moves in Big Brother history that we don't talk about enough, but you know, like he has those skills and people underrate him. He just needs some Lexapro. Lexapro, 20 milligrams. He'll be set. Yeah. Honestly, that's all he needs.
Let him get some like weed in the Big Brother house and see what happens.
Don't put weed in that Big Brother house. Oh my God, don't do that.
Only for Vince.
I don't disagree with most of you guys' points, but as far like I've heard other people say the same thing, like, oh, y'all just hate him because he's a piece of shit, but he's a good player. So I don't feel like he's underrated, especially with recency bias. I definitely think people hold him up higher than, I'm not gonna say higher than he should be, but up high enough.
Also, I'm just gonna say this. I think Vince is like an all-time reality TV personality and character. Like, I think Vince needs to be on more TV shows. Like, this is like it's just something about him where like I was glued to the live feeds because of Vince. Big Brother, I'm doing like a season ranking. Big Brother 27 is a top 5 season for me. And it has a lot to do with
an
Vince.
Entertaining season. It is entertaining. But I don't know. He give me a lot of secondhand embarrassment, and I hate feeling that way.
But that's the good
Get him on the Trader. Get him on the Traders. Faithful or Trader, I don't care. I will be sad. Like, that will be good TV. Like, come on, let's wake it up.
I need him being yelled at by a housewife like more than I need anything.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he's gonna cry.
Exactly. They'll keep him. He's gonna win. If he's a traitor, he would win. Like, he would get the sympathy. Like, he would win.
I don't think so with them.
I think he would only win if people knew about his Big Brother gang. Well, that's just how Vince is. If people didn't know his Big Brother gang, they'd be like, "Why is this guy keep crying all the time? Something's wrong."
That's why I hate traders right now. Like, the meta's so broken right now for traders. It's like, now I don't want them to put people on until they fix the meta. Because now I'm like, next season, all the Big Brother people are going to be out again. That's going to piss me off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it on Vince, honestly.
Yeah, I think we can. That's enough of Vince talk. Also, the mustache makes him top 10. Like, makes him a better character. Just the mustache of it all makes him funnier. I don't know how to explain it.
His also the clothes he will wear and like his mustaches, it makes him seem like a character and not like a person.
That's true. That's, the egg suit saved the season. But what were you saying, Tori?
Move yourself to the front.
I think it got moved at some point during all this.
Thank you.
But like, we had an order, so let me now we gotta redo the order. All right, Josie Ann, you are next. Who do you want to talk about?
I think I'm just gonna go in chronological order. So I'm gonna talk about season 8. My most underrated player. Or no, actually, technically, we're going. Sorry, I forgot about my other king. Please give it up for the guy, Mr. Jason Guy. Yes! Hold your applause, but I will applaud. Yes. Now, here is the thing. When we think of Big Brother 3, we think of the queen, and rightfully so, Miss Danielle Reyes. If you tilt your head a little bit to the, to who actually won the season, maybe the second most talked about player, you see Lisa. But you know who doesn't get enough love? Mr. Jason Guy. He meets up with Danielle and they create the secret alliance. Two people you wouldn't expect to be aligned together, they come and they unite and they cover bases of the house. And I think people forget that component. Like, Danielle Reyes is the strategic queen that she is, but she couldn't do it alone. And Jason is perfect because he kind of learns from Danielle and he kind of adapts it into his own charm and his own cute and fun way. And I just feel like we don't talk about him enough. Like, season 3 is run by the final 2, absolutely, in terms of memorability, but he deserves some love and some praise, and I wanted to take this time to uplift my king.
Yeah, no.
Oh. Yeah, no, what?
No, because I agree. I agree.
Okay, I'm scared. I said what?
I do agree. I really do like Jason. He's one of my favorite players of all time. I don't know if he's underrated because I feel like the people who listen to these podcasts, like the super fans, I think a lot of people view Jason highly. I think like a lot of people recognize that he is one of like the better players to never win. And it is him and Danielle both in Big Brother 3. But he is a really good player. He should be on 28. Bring him back as a returnee.
The reason why I put him as underrated is because let's look at the material of this cast for a moment, shall we, friends? Again, we have Miss Danielle Reyes. We have the winner, Lisa. We get Marcellus, like one of the craziest moments in Big Brother to this day, not using the POV and getting voted out. Like, we think about so many other things, and I think sometimes Jason slips through the cracks. I do think that, yes, super fans recognize King, but ancient texts are being lost in these times, if we're being real. We have been losing the plots. Like, we have been forgetting who came before us, and that includes Jason. Like, I think the people who know ball, but in the general sphere of the Big Brother space, of the Big Brother community, I don't think he gets uplifted enough.
No, yeah, I totally agree because it's the same reason why Drake put G on the list too. Like I feel like there's always something when it comes to like those having like a duo, especially on a TV show. One person in the duo is obviously gonna be like more of the star, and the other person is gonna feel more of the supportive role. But in reality, most people are like kind of doing it semi equally. Now I won't say Jason and Danielle had an equal duo or anything because Danielle was definitely doing more work than Jason. But I will say he did have the ability to get Danielle's crazy ass to want to basically take him to the end, and Danielle was just gonna end up losing to him. So there was a world where if Danielle was able to like take him to the end, she would have just lost next to him, instead of Lisa. So.
Yeah, he's like the first ever like golden boy of Big Brother, where it's like everyone likes him. He's really great socially. He's maybe not the most active strategic person, but he still has some strategy to him. And if he gets to the end, I think he beats everyone on this season if he makes it to the final two.
Yeah, they have like a good story or something too. Isn't his life like crazy?
He was a virgin. That's all I heard. Is that him?
Shout out to King. Hey Pookie, come over to representation. Yes. Not that I can relate. Anyways.
Ooh.
Moving forward and moving on. Oh, so hey, look. Sorry, I was gonna say that Jason is the social game to Danielle's strategy. I genuinely, when we'll talk about Big Brother, or if you've ever seen me like talk about Big Brother, my favorite players are the ones who are the social players, because I truly genuinely believe that the game boils down to being like the social game. And I think his social game is so good, and that's why his partnership with Danielle is crazy, and his ability to learn. Because it's one thing to be in an alliance with someone who's very strategic, it's another to actually like deep it and like lock in and like start to tap in and also do the things that need to be done. So that's why I also think that like his arc is really interesting, and I think people forget that as well. Like people come in with a game plan, they know who they are. You have like the super fan archetypes that come in. We know that that's what they're going to deliver, that's what they're going to give, or they're going to serve very big HOH-itis. Whereas Jason comes in not necessarily the most strategic, but by the end of the game is a phenomenal player. So I really think he has a good arc that we don't talk about enough.
Yeah. I also don't think it helps that Danielle's been back for All Stars and now Traitors, where Jason has never returned to reality TV. So his legacy hasn't, like, not many people remember his legacy and that he was good at the game.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, like, we've seen Danielle, like, kind of, like, replicate these crazy, more complicated strategies with other people, too. So I think that also makes it hard to attach this to Jason directly as a person, because it's like you can argue that Danielle has the ability to do that with almost anybody, which I would say is not true. I see both sides of the argument. Also, I'm just noticing how cool Jason's name is. I mean, I should be named Jason Guy. Yeah, I'm Jason Guy.
That guy.
I haven't seen this season all the way through, but I do know of him. I know him and Danielle had, the Secret Alliance, and I think some seasons, some players' strategy and story just overshadows like the whole game. And when people look back on it, most of the time it's Danielle that we talk about. And it just so happens to be that was his, his partner, his alliance, his number one. So that's probably why he doesn't get talked as much. It happens it's a lot of seasons where it's like we look back and everybody talks about this one person, like how Will was. They only talked about Dr. Will for a while. And unfortunately, it just overshadows his game.
We see you, Jason.
And he voted correctly by voting for Danielle. Hallelujah. The only vote for Danielle.
He's the only vote. That's crazy.
Yeah. And he stands the test of time. Thank you, Jason, for your service. Also, I think he's tied for the most wins on that season, which shows his physical prowess, which we don't talk about at all. Right?
I have it written down. He had 2 HOHs and 1 veto. I don't know who had the most though, but he won 3 total comps.
Yeah, I think that season the only other person was Marcellus and Lisa, I think. but also like I think he was also the last person in the house to be nominated, like out of everyone. Like everyone had been nominated before him.
Yeah, him and Danielle both don't get nominated until Final 3, which is crazy that two people first time being nominated as Final 3 together.
Look at the material, y'all. And we don't, you see, this is what I mean. We don't uplift him enough. Like, I think people forget that this man did his big one this season, like, truly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there anything else anyone wants to say about Mr. Jason Guy, the guy?
This is the podcast where we uplift white men.
Oh.
I don't know if we should say that when I'm the one hosting it.
Don't forget who we started
this
with
was
and
your
who you chose
idea.
to uplift. Don't forget who you chose to uplift first.
Yeah, you
Look,
had a crazy
yeah.
last with the pod.
Right.
I ain't the host. The host could have said you can't put that on my pod. Drake had the ability to deny.
We keep the real in reality, and if your real is that Amanda Zuckerman is underrated, I guess that's your real. I'm just saying the sponsors have already sent me DMs saying Tori can't be on the pod. HR is DMing us right
now. Porcupine. I don't feel safe.
Porcupine.
Now, Asia,
you gotta watch Jury Duty.
Asia, who's your next person you want to talk about?
So we're going to give love to a Black king. Okay, fuck what Tori was just saying. From Big Brother 27, Will Williams.
Oh,
I love me some Will. Okay, I really feel like the older players get overshadowed a lot, and the game is not really made for them, so it is really hard for them to advance. Will was truly, like they say, the father in the house, the mother in the house, but he really was like a father or uncle to them, like even game wise. It wasn't just like personal talks. A lot of people would come to him and ask for his opinion. Where he fucked up at is he never really stood on an opinion. If he could have stood on an opinion and really pushed whatever agenda that he had, I feel like he could have went further because everybody genuinely liked him and wanted to play the game with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I honestly think the week he went out, he could have stayed, but he literally kind of chose to go home. Yeah, he didn't want to campaign against Ashley, and I get it. At that point, they had such a close relationship, but Ashley was campaigning against him. And I think a lot of people would have been willing to let Ashley go to keep Will if he just literally asked them to. I don't even think he would have had to push that hard, but he didn't do anything. And that's why it's like, for me, Will is like so inactive sometimes as a player. It's hard for me to say that he's underrated just because it's like he got so much good information that he would like not tell anyone anything. And then I want to rate him higher, but also, I think one thing, like you said, that he was working against, like with the age factor, is that he went to bed early. Like he had to go to bed at like 10 o'clock. He's tired. Mind you, people are up all night, 3, 4 a.m.
Especially on this season. They was
exactly.
Oh, they was cracked out. It's a couple seasons that was cracked out. This one of them.
So he kind of got screwed because it's like he can't stay up all night. But the fact that he was in such a good social standing to the point that like he didn't need to stay up all night for the most part. Like those plans, they would just inform him in the morning. It wasn't like there was nothing that happened like overnight that really like screwed him, but it really could have. So I understand why you would underrate him because I get it because some people probably might see him as like more of a GOAT, but I do think he was like an active player. But I think once he especially got to like jury, he stopped being active like at all, especially like once Rachel left in particular. I think that really messed up his game.
That's one of the moments that kind of like fucks up the whole. It worked. We're on a different timeline now.
Yeah.
I think the wheel of it all, and then like the Blockbuster still going into the jury, he was like, why am I here? I'm wasting my time. And you can see that
too.
The way he would just talk on the feeds, like he never won a comp, and he's like, I'm here with all these like D1 athletes and young kids. Blockbuster's still going. We're in like final 8. Why am I here? It's like he felt defeated towards the end of the game. I think early on, like those first couple weeks, he was more active or at least trying to play the game. Like he was trying to make alliances. He had good relationships with people like Ava, Ashley, Morgan, Mickey, Rachel. Like that was like his crew of people. Even people like Zach and Vince, he's always had like a good relationship with. But just as the season kept going, and I just felt he lost steam or like care about all of it.
I've said this once, I'm gonna say it again. They should have put Will, Cirie, Felicia, and the crazy cracked out white lady on the same fucking season. We can't keep putting one old person on there. That's her
Yeah.
name, Angela. We can't keep putting one because and then you don't change how the game is played, like the physicality of it. Like you said, the blockbuster. You're not changing how the game is played. At least give them more people in there. So like you see with the older players, they kind of do give up as they get further along. Even the old white cop man, I forgot his name. He gave up.
He gave up the moment they walked in.
Literally, he gave up week 1. He was like, I'm done. But they could have gave him like a puzzle.
They tend to like give up because the game is not made for them, and then they don't put them in there with a whole lot of allies. Saria and Felicia, that was kind of crazy. It's like 2 older Black women, like they have all these things in common. They're not just 2 older people. So like I feel like they have to, if they're gonna put older people on the game, they gotta make it even. They gotta where's some equity at.
Yeah.
I will say, like, in a world full of crop pots and Terrences, Will was a breath of fresh air for the archetype. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Like, Like, Will is so baby girl. Like, he's baby girl coded. Like, hey, Pookie. Like, hey. I don't think Will is the best strategic player, but if we're talking social game, I think people had a love for him, which is kind of rare to see for someone who he represents like that archetype. Like, I feel like I get it, like, for me, but that's also because I'm a Black woman. So for me, like, it makes sense for people to see Will in this light, because that's how I've always seen people in my family or like older gentlemen in my community. So it felt nice to see him be loved. But again, I think what was frustrating for him is I think he had the abilities for the first time in a long time in a season of Big Brother to actually really do well. And he was very passive. Like, that's what's unfortunate. Like, I think he might be underrated in terms of as a personality, but gameplay wise, I'm like, you kind of reap what you sow. Like, he could have been in better positions. And I don't know if he has the head for the game. Like, I kind of see him on a Fox reality TV show. Like, I can see Your Voice or whatever else they're programming now. I don't got cable TV no more. But yeah, I don't know. I it's hard for me to feel like he's underrated, but I do like him as a personality. He was someone I enjoyed during BB27.
Yeah,
as far as don't do that to him. As far as the head for the game, I agree, because he said from the beginning, him and his wife got into it, and she's the bigger fan, and he did it, for her, kind of. So it was kind of like it wasn't his thing, like, it's not his thing. It was his wife's thing, which, because we're married, that's our thing, but it wasn't his thing. So I do feel like that's another thing that plays into it, like why he wasn't playing as hard as he could have played. I do feel like he wasn't the greatest player. He had everything to his advantage, and he didn't play with it at all, really. Like, he just kept himself safe until he bowed out, really. So I do agree with what you're saying as far as that. But I feel like, because if we want to talk about the older players I feel like he had a good social game. And like you're talking about his archetype, the older Black man, because we had that one. They redeemed themselves after Crockpot. Because when I tell you, I was like, you know what? Don't put the older niggas on. Like, just don't do it then. I guess, because, at this point. But I definitely love him as a personality. And I think maybe if he was on a shorter season with older people with him, he would be able to do good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think in a world where Rachel stays a little bit longer in jury, a world where Amy even stays longer in the house, he does do a lot better. Just having more people closer to his age. Because I do think having Rachel there was such a help for him. Like, they hung out all the time. And it's just, like, nice to be able to like, actually relate someone and probably actually, like, care about what they're talking about. Because there was a point where he was just started tuning out of conversations, too. And some of them conversations was important, child. And I was like, look, you gotta tune in. You gotta tune in.
He started that week 1. Don't let him fool you. Yeah. Also, with Rachel leaving, that's a big shield for him, where he kind of does just go, like, when it doesn't feel like it was his time to leave yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have anything about Mr. Captain Will they wish to say?
We love you, Pookie.
We love you. I think if Rachel stays, he's Probably like a Final Four victim.
Yeah, he's just Ava. He just takes Ava's place.
I think so.
I can't stand Ava. Y'all was gonna rage bait me if y'all put her on y'all list.
Oh,
well,
hell
speaking
no.
of my next
I can
pick,
promise
stop.
you, not here.
That was actually Tori's next two are Ava and Crockpot. It's pretty weird. Let me stop.
No.
She would though. That's the gag.
Oh, let's get on to my next person. Someone who has technically played twice, but I'm only here to really talk about one of those games. We got Jason Roy of Big Brother 17.
Oh,
he did good on Over the Top too.
He did. I just don't know if people remember Over the Top. It's kind of
I caught that in 2020, right before they took it off everything. I never knew it was a thing until I saw it in 2020, and now it's gone.
I loved Over the Top. I didn't have feeds back then, so I was just watching through Twitter updates.
Real.
But Jason Roy is, I think, one of the most underrated players in Big Brother. Like when I say the word underrated, he pops up to me because he's very social and strategic. And this early game of Big Brother 17, week 1, he backdoors the potential comp beast of the season in Jace. And then he has a couple of weeks where he's at the bottom when he loses like Davon. But then him and Vanessa kind of lock in, and he wants to backdoor Austin, who was like the powerhouse player of the season strategically at that point in the game. But then Vanessa, who was the most cracked person who ever played Big Brother, my favorite Big Brother player of all time, says, fuck no, we're going to backdoor it. Because Austin does do some good work to make sure it's Jason that gets backdoored that week. But if it's Austin who goes instead of Jason, I think Jason has a lot of deep runway into that season because he had built an army behind him and people like James, Jackie, Beg, who the fuck is Beg? Meg, Steve. He had allies around him, and he just gets sniped at the one opportunity to go. And even the week where he does go, he does a lot of active campaigning to stay, and he almost pulls it off. I just think if there wasn't someone like Vanessa in the house, he would have stayed because the whole house was down to backdoor Austin that week. It's just she's so cracked. She's like, no, we're keeping Austin. We'll do Jason instead. Oh, yeah. Don't nobody know Jason?
I know. Like he's fun. He played the game well. I think he played Over the Top well too. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with what you said. I don't really have any pushback.
I don't really know this man.
Sorry to this man. No, I like Jason. Okay, I can't help it if I'm a Davon stan. Anytime anything brings me back to Davon, it just triggers. It just jumps. I can't help it. But I think Jason plays a very good game, like in general. Like I think he's quite entertaining. I think people underestimate him because he gives personality, and it's very quick. And I think that's how you let people's guards down, and they don't actually tap into what you can deliver as a player. And I think in that sense, we don't really see him like that. I'm glad that he was not on BB 15 because I heard rumors were that he applied. Thank God. We needed him for 17. I mean, Battle of the Block was a big component, and I believe he won it multiple times, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Drake.
He won. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at Jason Guy's stats instead. Okay, he won 1 HOH, was dethroned. He won 2 Battle of the Blocks. Was nominated 4 total times.
Like, brother kind of went through it. I think the thing is that I don't think people have peeped his seasons enough, and that's why I think he's underrated because the people who know ball recognize his game, but a lot of the people haven't watched Over the Top, which is a shame. So they don't get to see what he delivers. But I don't know. I think he needs another season, like a proper season.
Yeah, because Over the Top kind of just showcases all the potential I thought he had from 17, where he does actually run. He does actually run that season when he has a group behind him that wins comps. Also, with the Battle of the Block of it all, he is kind of screwed because Jackie, who was one of his close allies, is the dethroned HOH of that week, who was never going to backdoor him. But then because Vanessa's the one who keeps the HOH, it's what gets him backdoored that week.
Like he's in quite a few like I think he learns a lot from his first season, which I appreciate. Like in terms of like if we think about returning Big Brother players, he might be underrated in that sense. Like I don't think we talk about him enough. Like from going to like pre-jury, if I'm correct, to second place, like that's a major glow up that we don't see. A lot of the times people who win returning seasons on a general note, if we're talking like Survivor and whatever, like they're usually people who did fairly well, who pre-game, who get to elevate themselves. So no shade to Cody, but all shade to Cody. And so, well, yes. Play a game where you don't have to pregame. Then we'll see. Yeah. So I think he does really well. He has a few alliances. I know the Jamboree is one of them. I think there's 2 Jamboree alliances, if I'm not mistaken. I watched OTT once, I fear, but he's a really good player. Like I genuinely think he deserves to be more recognized within our community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also don't think it helps that I don't think he's very active like in the online community. Like I've never seen Jason on a podcast, like on Twitter or anything. I know he was a big fan at the time. I don't know if he still is. I know some of these fans be on the show and like, yeah, I don't want to ever talk about this shit again. So maybe that was him.
Yeah.
But,
come on, Trauma.
I've never seen OTT, and the last time I saw BB17 was, I think, when it came out, probably with my mom. So that's why I'm just like, I don't even really remember him.
Yeah, I had a couple people from 17 I thought about putting on this list, but Jason for me just like stuck out. Like I want to talk about Jason's game. So, but
he beat out the Messiah. So
they should have both been on OTT. Jose was robbed.
No, because I lived for Jose during what's it called? Rivals with Dave Vaughn. Like y'all don't actually want to see me talk about peak challenge era and talk about Jose and Dave Vaughn on the challenge. Y'all actually don't want to see me because I'll be there.
Yeah, they actually don't want to see it because it was not voted for Reality Rewind. But let me stop.
Oh, right.
Nobody vote. Nobody ever votes for the challenge.
Ooh.
Does anyone else have anything to say about Mr. Jason Roy, the second Jason to make this list?
And another white man.
Yeah.
You like that word?
Well,
Actually, I have a person of color to uplift for my person.
Oh.
Who's next?
She's
Tori,
gonna
you're next.
say the whitest person. I am scared.
It's a person of color. Joseph. Okay. Last name unknown. Rodriguez. Mi gente Latino.
Is he not white?
He's Rodriguez, ain't that
that's like me saying I'm Canadian, so I'm not black. What?
Rodriguez, he's Mexican.
This
look at the mustache. Yeah, look at his mustache.
Look at his mustache. It's crazy. So
I don't know if race and anyways, a conversation for another time.
Yo, all right. So Joseph,
10th?
Y'all, we all know Joseph from BB26, and I know what people are gonna say. He wasn't that good, but he was okay, y'all. He wasn't that bad as people say that he is. No, I feel like what he really was trying to do was play a low-key game, all pre-jury, and then once he made it to jury, become a bit more of a front-facing player and become like he had all like the building blocks. He had a good foundation for the jury phase, in my opinion, especially with Tucker gone. I feel like
place.
mind you. The only reason he ain't made jury was because of Chemo crying, and this is where I have to bring back out the Nicki Minaj shirt.
Wait, what's that got to do with Chemo? And
this is where we have to bring out the Nicki Minaj shirt, because what I have to say is that this woke agenda.
So
thank you. Because what the fuck?
I don't know. The wokeness of Big Brother. Because since when are we keeping people due to sympathy? Oh, so now we change the votes off of one speech? No, see,
it wasn't even one.
Not you don't like fun and strategy and things changing at any second. You don't like.
My thing is, he's not a bad player though, because he would still be in the game, and I think he would have probably made it pretty far. Because mind you, he had Chelsea clock too, so I think he would have eventually had a good coalition. He could have been maybe convincing. He could have maybe tried to get close to MJ, even though I think MJ she probably wouldn't even be next to him, child. But he could have tried a little bit more to get closer to MJ and maybe become that voice in her ear and like do the puppet mastering that Chelsea was doing. I feel like he had a lot of
do that to MJ.
I think anyone could do it to MJ if they said they believed in God. I'm just saying, she was following Chelsea. Maybe I should edit that one out. But you know,
We don't edit these.
Yeah, Chelsea was.
Yeah.
At
Everybody
all.
was following Chelsea to
Cut
the death.
that.
But as the other president, Joseph Rodriguez, stand on the panel, because these people are
Stand.
laughing in my boy's face. Joseph, is he a perfect player? No, that's why he's
No.
underrated, okay? He does have flaws. And that flaw is the social game. And I have a theory about that. The mustache just made him untrustworthy, okay? He wasn't that bad.
It's a
There's
pedo stash.
No one believed because of the mustache. But Joseph, he was very overconfident in his position at times. But once he got the information from Quinn about the Pentagon and realized his true positioning, he does amazing work picking up Tucker and being like, okay, Tucker, this is what we got to do. We got to shake this shit up. And what does Tucker do? He shakes that shit up. He's one of the only people in the whole house. I'd be stumbling, I got bad language. But Joseph is one of the only people in the house that recognizes from early on that Brooklyn and Chelsea are running that early game. And he's the one that convinces Tucker to go after Brooklyn and Chelsea when he wins the HOH. He knew when to flip, and then he positions himself to make that one alliance, the 6th Avenue alliance, like Tucker and like the trio and Angela. But that alliance is fake because Angela was in it. Angela exposes everything. That's what she'd be doing. And once we get to the jury stage, his social game is lacking. I'm not gonna lie. He tried to pick up pieces, like we said. I remember having a conversation where he would go to MJ. He would try to pick up MJ, but no one bought that. He would go to Cam. He tried to pick up Cam. Cam would be like, "What are you doing in my face?" But no one I think he had potential because the people that did respect him were Leah and Quinn. But Quinn, for some reason, puts him on the block, and that kind of just derails his whole game. He also doesn't get nominated until he goes home. He goes like 8 weeks without being nominated. There's still a level of oppressiveness for that because not many people were that close to him, but they never put him on the block either.
See, that's the thing. I was really stuck between him and Quinn for this list because I honestly don't think Quinn is as bad as people say. The reason why I didn't pick Quinn, and I think Joseph is a slightly better player than Quinn, is because Quinn had like the most ultimate power in Big Brother history and like wasted it with that deepfake HOH. And it's like something that's almost unforgivable to me at that point. And the way that Quinn like persistently wanted to like the way he just like kept going back to Angela when it's been over and over again, Angela has proven as like a horrible person to tell anything to. So that's why I think Joseph, he's just like, I think Joseph is chill. I think Joseph, I think it's the mustache. Drake, ever since you said that, I can't stop staring at it. And I'm like, if I was in the house and somebody had that mustache, I don't think I would trust them either. So
I'm not talking to him. The way Joseph looked, I'm sorry. Sorry, sir. I will not be talking game with you today.
I think he's a very sound strategic presence. Like I think if you talk strategy with him on the live feeds, he would make sense of what he's doing. It does make sense. He just needs someone that's can bounce off that people trust. Like he needs someone that socially everyone likes. And that was Tucker for him for the middle part of the game. But once Tucker sniped out because Tucker loves to volunteer on the block, he goes to Quinn and Leah, who then nominate him. He just has really terrible allies at the end of the day because Mara's allies either played him up or not volunteering for the block. It's just a very unlucky situation. And I'm not saying he's the best of the best or anything, but I think Joseph is just a pretty underrated player who I think he has a lot of potential. And I think he's also self-aware since the season aired, but I think he knows and understands his flaws. And if you combine his strategicness with Quinn's social game, you probably have the best player ever.
Now we could have combined two motherfuckers together.
Yeah, you combine them and you will get me, which would be the best Big Brother player of all time. So, yeah.
Okay. People were too hard on Joseph. I feel like people are so hard.
I think you guys are uplifting him too much. Let me bring us back.
Put him down. She said,
in a cast full of all stars in their own right. I'm sorry. If you asked me to name this cast, I would have completely forgotten him. We got Matt. Underrated. No, it's because he's not memorable. He didn't. You guys are bigging him up a bit too much. In a cast full of jesters and clowns and queens and kings, Joseph is nowhere to be found. We have Matt first evicted. Oh, the tyrant the pain he put us all through preseason, even postseason. That is memorable. We have Lisa winning to this day. We have Lisa, the chef, and her chaotic game. Glitter. Kenny, the cop that wants to quit. Cedric, our king. Brooklyn, Miss Cheese Platter, Miss Charcuterie. Tucker, I don't even need to talk about him. Mr. Battle of the Black or whatever we're calling it. I forget. It's all starting to blend together. Then we have Quinn, the major like chaos for no reason. Eva actually reincarnated itself when Quinn got evicted. That's when Vince was born. Like genuinely, let's actually clock that. Let's clock into that. To core. Mother, you know what I mean? Like there's so many. Cam, shout out to my dogs in the crib. Like that was my Twitter bio for a long time. Like there are all stars on this cast, and you want to big up Joseph.
The thing is, you would be remembering Joseph
start...
if he had a fade and cut that mustache. Like that was holding him back. Not that
good of a game player. Was he not? Like was he not? I don't know. Like
he was playing.
I don't know. Like I think he got what he deserved. 10th place makes absolute sense for me, and it makes sense that I didn't remember him because it's not giving memorable.
I will say, I was a Joseph fan at the time, being like, guys, get ready. He's about to lock in. He's about to cook. And then he went home, and I was like, okay, guys, I might have been wrong.
But he was gonna cook. He was gonna cook.
He was gonna cook.
But he did not cook. Not one ingredient. Not one purchase.
Because of the woke agenda in the house. Trying to support chemo, like everybody crying over chemo, and just to vote out chemo like the next week. Y'all been crying over this nigga.
So hey, that's
what you do. You do what you gotta do to stay for a week.
So hey, that's not true because Joseph went, then Quinn goes, then Takora goes, then Leia goes, then Angela, then chemo. So
he did say over T-Core. He did say past
like
why did chemo make it that far? Y'all, I don't like no chemo. I'ma say it.
Oh.
You're gonna hate my next bit.
No, it's not giving Chelsea. I just don't see the hype of him. Chemo, Rubina, and Takor. Never saw the hype. Sorry. Well, Takor, I get it a little bit more, but Takor is such an inactive player for me, child.
I mean this with all love. Do Chemo and Rubina have hype? Like, I mean this with all love. Like, do they have hype like that?
So I think the casuals like them.
Like they're okay.
They're not. They were nice.
I like them as people.
But they weren't like the best players.
Yeah, like it's like I like them as people, but I didn't really like them as players.
Right.
I remember both of them before Joseph.
Say,
I bring up Joseph first when I bring up that cast, but
crazy,
and that's a character flaw. That's a character flaw.
As long as we never mentioned Chelsea,
that was fucking insane. The winner.
I think that's enough. We didn't come here to bash people. We came here to prop them up.
I think we're uplifting too much in this current
Latino.
Time.
Well, Josiane, who is your next person you want to talk about?
Okay, well, I was going to do chronological order, but we've done too many white men. So let me give us a black queen. My second black queen, Miss Hannah Chada. Yes, God. Yes, God. Make room for the queen. Okay, so I think that her contributions to her season, her gameplay get totally cast aside. She's like the sixth member of the Cookout. Unfortunately, she kind of is added. I don't think it's that way in their dynamics by no means, but like if we're talking historically, if we're going back to the ancient text, it's like she's the last wheel on the bus. Like they just added her.
They couldn't tell for real. They had to ask her some questions. It was like, are you
you know,
one of us?
And when they did clock into it, you know, that's when she shines, right? So let's go back in time. During Christian's HOH, she was supposed to go home. This is when the Cookout could have collapsed completely. People want to give credit to Xavier, want to give credit to Tiffany, but those who watch the feeds know that she was supposed to go home. Christian and Alyssa and Sarah Beth all wanted her to go home. And it was probably the moment in which the Cookout was in the most dangerous position. But Hannah lays it out. She lays out the facts in front of him, and she does it in a way that I appreciate. There's something about someone pleading to an HOH and kissing ass that kind of irritates me. Like it kind of makes me like go like, okay, flattery will last so long. But she lays out, here's why it doesn't actually benefit me for me to target you. Don't make a target out of yourself with me. And if you do target me, there will be repercussions. And what happened? Christian went home. Oh, don't call her the Godfather. Don't call her the Godfather, but perhaps. I think also she plays a big role. I think it's the BB Bucks or something. No one knows how to use it. No one knows. She sits there and she says, this is how we're going to control it. She plays very big parts in like the strategy component and thinking of how to navigate the game as a unit. I think in the cookout, some members elevated themselves above other members in the cookout, unfortunately, which causes Tiffany and Hannah to kind of take the back seat. But they were, I believe, the strategic forces behind the cookout.
For sure.
If you want to say that Tiffany was the general, sister general, Hannah was, in fact, Kamala Harris's sister. I fear the lieutenant. I fear. Like, it genuinely, like, I don't think she gets enough praise. Her, like, allies being Derek X and Claire, big people who are outside of the cookout and who actually really valued her as a player. I think she doesn't get her flowers enough amongst the season, amongst the cookout, and outside of the game. Seeing her play, like, different, like, mini, like, RHAP orgs, whatever you want to call them, she eats down every time and she wins every time. And who's shocked? Not me, because she has the prowess. I want her to be on another season. I want her to win. Like, I just need her on my screen again, I fear.
I love Hannah. I do think Hannah and Tiffany, if it wasn't for like the bigger purpose of it all, Hannah and Tiffany had connections with almost everybody. And I feel like they could have been our top two if it wasn't for the whole purpose of the cookout was to get a Black winner. And that's something that you're not going to see again. I mean, you may see it with another race. We don't know. But to be like, hey, we haven't had a winner, so let's put our own personal games to the side so that the six of us can make it. So I do think that was like, you know, a reason why her and Tiffany were the first two to be out of the cookout. And I also think that because how men are, of course, the men are going to make sure, hey, we still playing the game. Let's pop ourselves up to make sure that we are going to be in the final 2, 3 or whatever. And yeah, her and Tiffany, like they led as far as strategy was. They came up with everything. And because they had closer allies and Derek and Claire, they would have been able to make moves to keep them, to put themselves up and to get out maybe an X, to get out maybe a Kylan, if the purpose was for them to win and not for one of us to win. With all that being said, I do think that when everybody talks about, you know, the newer era, who they want to see play again, I hear Hannah and Tiffany's name together. I hear Hannah's name a lot. She was 21 when she did BB23. Like, she's been to school. Is she a doctor now? I think she might be a doctor now. I think she got
I think so.
She's went through a lot of life. At 21, you're a fucking baby for real. And I think that with that, the game she played already and with her life experience, she could clear them.
Yeah, and she's so smart. Like, I watched her season on The Amazing Race recently, and even though she didn't like make it too far in The Amazing Race, but she was just like incredibly smart. Like, she knew so many different languages. Like, her and her sister just like knew like so much stuff. Like, yeah, they were so cute together. I do think Hannah might permanently suffer from empathy syndrome, just caring too much about other people, especially now that she's a doctor and probably like has even more empathy for people as she's caring for them like in real life.
She need to chill Dr. Will in this motherfucker. Get rid of everybody.
Exactly. Because I fear that when she does, because she will play another season of Big Brother, I do fear that she might end up in another position to sacrifice her own game again. And I do think she would sacrifice her own game again for the betterment of a group. And it wouldn't be something that she's like doing consciously or like even on purpose. It's just like who she is as a person.
I hope that if she was to go back in there, her big brothers and big sisters in the cookout and beyond will be like, girl, you better play for your motherfucking self.
I think she would play for herself. I genuinely think she did the biggest sacrifice of all, which was to get a Black winner. Like, when I see the way she is analytical and like just the way she like observes and stuff, I think she is one of the best strategic minds that we have yet to fully tap into. And I genuinely think this. Like, I think she's one of the best to do it. And like, even if we have to bring out people as well, like her really pushing for Brent to go, like that man was going to out the cookout so quickly. Like, lest we forget, like Hannah was on it, and she said we need to get him out quickly because he was kind of peeping shit. Like she really, I don't know. I feel like she has so much potential that we just barely scratched the surface. Like I need her to come back again.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a hot take, but out of all the members of the Cookout, she's the one I want to see back the most on Big Brother again. Like I know people rather have Tiffany, but I think if Tiffany comes back, she's gonna have such a big target on her back that I don't know if she would have a fair chance. Where I think if Hannah returns, I think she's very good at the game. She's very smart and like charismatic, and I don't think she would have that threat on her from like casuals or like recruits who just like studied the game real quick to watch it before playing. And I think super fans, if there's super fans in there, they would see her and want to play with her. Where I feel like if Tiffany is in there or someone like Kyle or Xavier, I think they just get targeted really early on. And I think Hannah has most potential. She was also on my list as one of those underrated players. She's one of like the only people that overlapped for this podcast. She's just so smart. she's just the way she talks about these games on podcasts or even in the house. She knows everything that's going on. She always knows the optimal move. You even see it during this season where she knows the optimal moves for her and Tiffany, but she won't make that because of the greater cause of the Cookout. And I just think she can win a season. Even at 21 years old, I think she could have won this season. And now that she's older, I think she could definitely win a season. So why am I talking?
If you put somebody on like Tiffany back on, or you gotta also get like the Vanessas. You gotta also get the who's the guy that played with Taylor? I can't remember his name, but you gotta get these people on that.
Which one?
Crockpot?
The white man that won all the. I will punch you dead in your throat.
Michael.
Michael. All I could think about was him running out. I couldn't even think of his name. Sorry.
Yeah, you have to put people on that are also like the people that everybody talk about. Because if you put one person on there like that, they're gonna get targeted easily. But yeah, I love Hannah, and we need to see her play again. And like you guys said, she was so young when she did the first one, and she's still in the community. She's gonna play again. Give us another All-Stars. I mean, not right now. We need some time. We need a break. But when we get another All-Stars, I better see Hannah.
And an actual
All-Stars right now. Does anyone else have anything else to say about Miss Hannah Chada? I think I spelled her last name wrong on this slide, but that's
the Queen stays
I thought there was
Queen.
a couple letters missing.
Yeah, Dyslexic King working the slides tonight. Okay, I think I'm next, and we're going to play a game real quick. If I'm correct, the next person should be the slide I picked. If I'm not, I'm gonna look real stupid. All right, so I was right. My next pick was Miss Helen from Big Brother 15.
Hallelujah.
If there's any Big Brother 15 representation on this pod, it has to be Miss Helen.
Underrated. Everybody love Helen.
She was pushed.
She was pushed.
Yeah, I think Helen's perfectly rated. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree. People love
Miss
her.
Amanda Stan.
You brought up Amanda.
Well,
I want
my
to let
thing.
you live that.
You know what? Helen, she lost the war against Amanda, if we're being honest. She lost the war. Sorry.
She lost the war because she was the better player, okay? Because Andy realized that he had to pick between going with Helen or going with Amanda, and he was more threatened by Helen than he was Amanda. So that's why he cuts Helen earlier.
That's the way Andy tells it.
That's the way Andy played it.
Oh.
Yeah. But Helen, like we talked a lot about Amanda's game. Their games are very interlined. They do start like the dominant alliance that runs the early portion of the game. Is it like the 3 a.m. alliance? It's some one of those alliances that's probably fake, but they do kind of dominate. The monster. I know the monster was her and Alyssa, but then there was like there was like a bigger.
Oh,
alliance.
Area 51.
That might have been it. But they do run the early portion of the game with the MVP twist that does help. But they get out pretty much the remnants of the moving squad with like Nick, Jeremy, Howard. They get rid of these big broy guys. And by the time it's time to start taking shots at each other, it does come down to Andy's decision. He just chooses to side with Amanda and McCrae over Helen and Alyssa. And I can't be too mad because he does win the season. So it was probably the right move. But like Helen was pushed and she should have made it to at least 8th place. I just wanted to talk. Honestly, what it really comes down to is Tori sent me a photo of that she was sitting in Amanda. I was like, well, I have to bring someone else from this godforsaken season up because we can't have Amanda as only representation. We got to have some positivity in the world.
I think Helen does deserve a second chance this season at the very least because a lot of the reason why she was targeted was like part partly just because of race and misogyny and just her being like a strong woman. And it's like she was literally the actual opposite of Amanda, which is kind of funny. It's like, because Helen was pushy to people, but she wasn't like bullying people, but she was like in charge in a way. But
she's what you want, where she would like go to people and be like, this is what we're doing. This is the
exactly. Like she did it more corporate. Like she had a corporate kind of, she brought that into the Big Brother house, which I enjoy. I think she would do great in another season.
Yeah.
And she probably would have made it further if they weren't like racist.
I wish more for Helen. I genuinely think she was a very good player. Like she had a very good head for the game. And it's so weird because you know what? I agree with you that she is underrated in the sense that this season has such a huge negative gray cloud. Like when I think of BB15, I think of Andy and I think of What You Gonna Do, Girl, Miss Aaron, and I think of Gina Marie crying over Nick. What the hell was that? That scared me. Sorry. I just had a huge honk that like scared the living crap out of me. But I think of Gina Marie crying over that now TikTok magician. I can't even remember his name.
Nick.
Yes, thank you. I think of flipping mattresses. I think of Candace. I think of Howard, and I do think of Helen. But I just feel like her game gets so overshadowed by the whole mess of it all. So I think we don't uplift the game that she had and how good of a force she was because she wasn't racist.
Yeah, it's just I like Helen. I want to talk about her. I think a part of Big Brother 15 is my first season of Big Brother, like halfway through. So my first episode is the episode she is pushed. Like I vividly remember, like that's the first episode of Big Brother I've ever watched. That's the first episode of Big Brother I ever watched. And I missed all of 16, and I came back for 17. I missed all of 16 live and came back for 17. I've been hooked since 17 because I remember my first week is the week Aaron gets evicted, and they were calling her racist. I'm like, when did this happen? I feel like I missed. I feel like I missed something.
That's a week to start the game. That's crazy.
Yeah, but is she? I think she's maybe properly rated in the grand scheme of things of all, but she just had so much potential, and I think given her the time has probably passed for her to ever get a second chance. But if she would have gotten it, I think she could have ran a season the way she runs those first couple weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Oh, she is a diva, and we stand.
All right. Now, I don't think who's next. I think I skipped you because I was so excited to talk about Miss Helen. But Asia, who is your next person? I think it's just that I saw the H's were next to each other. I'm like, I could do this.
The queen from Big Brother 10, Libra Thompson.
Mother.
Now, not only was she a good strategist, the drama in the house, a lot of it was because of her. If she was not there, would we be watching BB10 over again? Probably not. We'll be talking about it. I mean, we talk about Dan. That's the thing with BB10. Like a lot of people talk about Dan as far as like the players. I don't really hear Libra's name. And her and was it Keisha that were going back to back? No, it wasn't Keisha. Yeah, it was Keisha. Her and Keisha, even though they hate each other half the time, when they did find some common ground, because I do feel like it was, we may hate each other right now, but it's us against them, and I mean we're gonna keep each other here. And I just feel like Libra don't get her just due. They show her in the drama and stuff, but they don't talk about her gameplay.
Shout out to Rice University. She put them on the map. I didn't know that place existed. Yes. No, Libra is in a state of control. Like if there are the prima donnas, if there is the flow state, Libra, April, and Keisha, when they were on the same page, when we had that short, brief moment of unity, wow, what a time to be alive. Genuinely, the men were scared. The men were fearing for their lives. And then I fear they had to turn against each other. I think you're right in the sense that I think her game gets overshadowed by her memes and the season and the fights. Like, I think people forget that she was a powerhouse. And she does. I think she's the first stream member of BB10, which is unfortunate. But I think she serves so hard. Like she mothers so close to the sun in so many ways that we forget that she was running a tight, strict ship in that bitch. Okay. And that's just me being real. I think you know what, and I respect this choice.
Yeah, I agree. I was considering her as well. I think the only reason I didn't put her on there was because, like, I don't know, she just like, I think the strategy aspect was a little bit missing, but at the same time, when she was linked up with April and Keisha, they were strategizing a lot. It's like as soon as that broke apart and the house turned into chaos, like the strategic side of her kind of like got thrown out as well. But I do think she is underrated, especially in comps too, because she almost won like 3 HOHs. Like I think she was like close so many times, and it's like if she won at least. I think the last one she almost won, and that's the one she went home on. So it's like if she won that HOH, it might have been a lot different of a season because probably April would have went home, and then I forgot the black guy's name, but he probably would have started Ollie would have started copping some
the brains out of April.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I saw that. I did not want to see that. I seen that on the internet. BB Twitter be on some crazy shit. I was like, what the. What in the
and they bring it back every year.
Every year
I haven't seen it, so
please,
every time there's a showmance, you'll see on Twitter be like, "This will be them." Like the people will just put their names and be like, "So and so tonight," and it'll be that clip of April and all. Yeah. Imagine you fucked one time almost 20 years ago, and now it's just on Twitter once a year at least.
Talking about Pastor Boy fucking on the feeds. My God,
that's what them pastors shouldn't be doing.
The PKs, watch out for the PKs. Actually, though, like if that's a whole other conversation that I won't wake up right now.
All right. But well, Libra, I do think, her gameplay is not remembered as well because of the fights and how iconic she is as a TV character and personality. But that first week when the house flips on Brian, she's a major part of that. And you see the strategic side of her immediately, and they formed a coven, which do kind of run the early game. Getting out people like Steven and Angie, who are the two forgettable people of Big Brother 10. So thank you for getting them out. Steven's actually okay, but Angie I know nothing about. So she does run that game, and then when it takes place where the house splits into two sides, she kind of just gets unfortunate that her side doesn't win HOH, and she is like the figurehead of her side, or it's like, she's obviously the one that's gonna go when her alliance needs to go.
I love when the women come on, especially for a black woman to come on and play like this back then, where it's like aggressive and all. She played hard, and she was not fucking scared to say what she needed to say. Because I know a lot of times now it's so meta. I hear black women say all the time, well, I don't want to be the angry black woman, blah, blah. Bitch, we angry sometimes. Be angry. Shit, everybody feel angry sometimes. Don't let people pigeonhole you. And I feel like she really just was herself. And like I said, the drama, like if she wasn't there, are we gonna have Keisha's birthday? Are we? No.
And mind you, she had corporate giants and machines against her because even Julie Chen was up there calling her a bad mother. Okay, so yes, in her interview, she basically called her a bad mom because she was like, "Oh, so you're gonna just like leave your kid for that long to go on this show?" Like, girl, bye, Julie.
Fuck them kids, you know.
Period.
It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Those kids, I'll come back and the opportunity's still there. Let me say, I don't have kids.
Fine. It's the summer. I'm not getting shipped off to war.
Yeah, send them to camp. Just send them to an overnight camp.
It's not like that show Josh is on currently, where they've been in there for the last like 6 months. It feels like I keep getting updates on my Twitter about how Josh is
doing. They still in there, but they in prison.
Yeah,
I just found out he was a finalist, and there's like 5 other people. I was like, whoa, let's.
Wrap it up. Wrap this. And then I remember seeing her house and stuff, and her husband, her kids. They got a nice big old house. Her husband got a nice good job. He's fine with them fucking kids.
Rice University.
I can't stand Julie Chen.
I think it's so unfortunate that it's her. Like I said, Helen, the time has passed for Libra to get a second chance, most likely, which she should have been. Like, if 14's like a full-on all-star season, she's a lock, I feel like, to be on there. She's one of the most iconic people to ever be on Big Brother just for her personality. And the gameplay was also there. I feel like a lot of those big like personality and TV characters, they don't have the gameplay to back it up. Where I feel like if Libra was to play Big Brother again, I think she has the gameplay to back it up.
She could. And again, with having people that look like you, they've been better about that now. So even to have that where because when you go to someplace, any place, automatically, subconsciously, you look for people that you have something in common with, to talk to build, relationships with. So I do feel like that will work to her advantage too. She's a little bit older. Again, life experiences. Put another older woman on the goddamn show with her. Don't just leave her there by herself on the All-Star season. It is more like even keel. But I would love to watch her play again.
Wait, I just low-key clocked that her and Helen are the same age. Anyways.
Put them on together.
Final two.
Hey, I'd support it.
I don't think Libra's ever gonna play again though, because when I was looking up like about her now, what she's doing now, is she gonna be back? Apparently she has talked about how the way that she was portrayed on the show kind of like ruined her career, and she had to like build everything back from the ground up. I believe she's a teacher, so yeah, she wasn't getting higher places, and it was rough for her in real life when she got back home. And though things would definitely be different if she was on here now with how the world is in 2026. But like she probably is, PTSD. No, thank you.
Yeah,
that's still mother.
Period.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on Ms. Libra?
Anybody?
Summa cum laude. Yeah.
All right. So I know I messed up the order earlier. Okay. I don't think Tori or me have anyone left. So Josie, do you have someone left you want to talk about?
Yes. I have my last pick. Season 8, I teased it earlier. I fear it's another white man. But hey, I had to give balance. I gave 2 black women, 2 white men. And we're going to have Eric Stein. Let's wake it up for a moment. The reason why he's underrated is that brother didn't even get to truly play his own game. And yet made it to 5th place. That to me is crazy. That to me is crazy. The reason why I think he's underrated is because, again, we're losing ancient texts. The kids weren't here. There's a lot of conversations, but a lot of people aren't doing their research. They're not going back in time. So for those who may not be aware, he was forced to play America's Player, which meant the viewers, us, got to control his nominations, his targets, his votes, his strategic decisions. There's little like fun things here and there, campy things around. But he was so poised, in my opinion, to win this game. I genuinely think he could have won this game. I also, if we're being real, Evil Dick did cheat. For those who don't know, he cheated through his loved one letter with, I believe, his son, question mark? I can't remember what.
Yeah, it was it was something like they wrote the first letter of certain sentences.
Yeah,
and they would line up the initials or something, and it would spell out the drugs.
And they told Evil Dick found out that he shouldn't trust Eric, even though he was kind of doing things for his benefit, to be real and to be honest.
America for some fucking reason love that.
Yeah, the son might be stupid.
You know what? Here's the gag. I understand, not to talk about Evil Dick, but I feel like I have to address it. I understand at the time, but time has aged poorly, and it's aged like I don't know, milk on a hot summer day. It's bad. But at the time, I understand why the public was, the father-daughter estranged, whatever. But we're here to talk about Eric. He had a showmance, which statistically, if we really wake it up, statistically, showmances do way better in the game. I don't understand why y'all let these bitches still stick together in this house. If y'all are on the show, get rid of the showmance. Don't get in the showmance. I don't really care. Just get rid of it. But he completed 20 out of 28 of America's Players tasks, which is crazy. You don't even get to play your own game. You become a puppet. But despite that, he was so well connected on the cast. Allies left and right. And you want to talk about playing the middle? Unfortunately, that was kind of the game he had to play, but I genuinely think in my heart of hearts he would have done that anyways. He played the middle so well. He was influential within the house, and I really think he's one of the best to not even win.
And that's why he'll be on next season. I am 100% sure we'll be seeing Eric Stein in BB28.
Is he rumored?
I mean, because the returnees are rumored, and then for BB27, I think in BB7 they do something. What was BB7? Was that All Stars?
Yeah.
No, or BB6 is All Stars, I thought, right? Or
No,
no,
All Stars is
All-Stars.
7.
Okay, but I guess they brought just Rachel back, which kind of is like. But I saw something on Twitter where people were comparing some twists that they did in like the teens in the early numbers, and anything that was like kind of lined up with like the last number, they kind of did a repeat-ish of the same thing or a callback to those seasons. So especially because they just did the Mastermind stuff last season, if they do have returnees this season, I can see it being kind of like a second chances, screwed by twists type of season, where they mix it in. And Eric would definitely be on top, especially because he's been begging, child. He online, he been begging. Eric, we hear you. Hopefully CBS heard you.
You know what though? I get it though. I can't even get mad. First of all,
I would do the same thing. I'd be begging too.
Y'all don't want to see me. Hey, some kidneys.
I'm begging to get on now. The first time.
Oh, and let's wake this up. Hey, BB Karen. Hey, Pooks. No, I genuinely think he didn't even really get a chance to play his own game. And because of it, I think if he did come back, I think people wouldn't know what to expect of him, but I don't think they would be like, he has to go. Because he was unfortunately not able to have his own autonomy.
Yeah.
I think Eric, I got one back. I'm only worried for him coming back is would he overplay because he's been like dying to do this again. But he was really screwed over on Big Brother 8. I think he's maybe the most screwed over anyone's ever been in a Big Brother season. And he still made it to 5th place despite all the odds. Because on paper, he really had a core group that should have made it to the end together with him, Jessica, Dustin, and Jamaica. That should have been the final 4. And that's probably 4 of like the better players in the game. And I truly believe No America's Player, him or Jessica, just wins the season. Jessica was also on my short list to make this video, so shout out to her. But I just think Eric, he's so good. Like he didn't need to be. He realized that they had to keep Evil Dick, so he positioned himself in alliance with Evil Dick, and that became the new majority until the end game, where Evil Dick got some letters saying, "Hey, Eric, he don't trust him, even though we keep voting for him to trust you." So I don't even know what the logic behind there was. But there's multiple times in this season where Eric wants to make the moves, but America just says no. Like, wasn't he wins a veto during the double eviction and he can't use it because there's not enough time for America to vote? Like, he just gets screwed multiple times during this season. And he was so smart and he was able to pull off everything they gave to him. And even the 1 week where they told him to evict, I forget who Nick was on the block next to, where they told him to keep Nick. He did not do that shit. He did not do anything America told him to do that week. And Nick goes and producers put him aside and say, "Hey, you're not allowed to do that. You do that again, we will kick you off the show," because he did not fight for Nick to stay. And it's just unfortunate because what are you supposed to do if you're a super fan? They say, "Hey, the only way we're going to cast you on the show is if you agree to be America's Player. If you say no, we'll just get someone else to say yes." It's like, man, it's so unlucky. I feel bad for him because he's also been wanting to come back since Big Brother 8.
I don't know why it's taken them this long, to be honest with you. For one, like, I don't know. I guess this is another conversation about how often should we have returning seasons, because, you know, we should have fresh and new blood. But when we go on a dry spell, and then the first time you give us an All-Stars, it's 22? I forget what season it was. Yeah, and then you give us that cast, like, y'all should have been doing them every other season. Like, y'all should have been like y'all needed to do it more frequently, because we had people in their prime who aren't going to play at this day and age. And it's unfortunate because, like, imagine this, right? Libra can't, unfortunately, she's having a hard time getting a job, whatever. You got nothing to lose, mama. Come back on an All-Star season 2 seasons later. Well, look at the material.
Yeah, it is weird. They need to do it more often. And I'm hoping with the success of 27 and like the praise they got for bringing Rachel Riley back, that they're like, oh, we can have returning seasons. Because I think they had the 19 with Paul was so negatively seen that they were kind of scared to do All-Stars. And then when they did All-Stars, it was whatever that bullshit was. They're like, okay, maybe we just never do this again. And I kind of feel like Survivor also fell in the same trap where I think Winners of War was kind of negatively received. They're like, okay, let's never do this shit again. And then we got the 50. And it's like, hopefully do this all the time now. So, bring returnees back. Even if it's just like one or two of them, let them sit in the house, see if they cook something up. Because if they flop, they flop. Well, who cares, you know?
We needed at least half the players in the house. I need at least half. Give us at least half returnees.
Come on,
that'd
BB
be
Can.
It's still the BB Can nachos. Okay, someone has to do it. It's probably gonna be BB Can 13 that's coming back. But you got a year to steal the nachos, US. You have 1 year to steal as many nachos.
Yeah. Do that triple eviction properly if you're gonna do it next time. My God.
All right. Is there anything else to say about Mr. Eric Stein, America's Player?
I hope you come back then. Hey, Pooks. If you do, I'll be behind you. Yes.
All right. And is there any other players to talk about, or did everybody get who they wanted to? Does anyone have?
Well, I sent you a person, and I get these two men confused. I meant to put Johnny Mac, and I told you, Scotty. What the fuck?
Oh.
I always get them two people confused. But yeah, I looked it up, and I was like, this not who not.
I was really confused when you sent me Scotty, but now you said Johnny Mac. I guess that makes more sense. Let me make sure Scotty's not a thumbnail for this.
I want to say about Johnny Mac. He was on season with Vanessa and with Steve, right? That's who won. Yeah, so I feel like their games overshadow his. Him and Steve, their alliance. They had an alliance. They had it too. And he was one of the first people to be like, hey, Vanessa's a fucking problem. But nobody was really listening to him. But Steve, I do feel like if he was in another season with maybe not somebody as chaotic and like a good player, like Vanessa's very chaotic, but like she got mind control over niggas. Like she was in there doing all types of mind control to get further into the game. And because of her good gameplay and because of Steve had good gameplay. People talk about his gameplay as well. I feel like he gets overshadowed a bit, but I do think Johnny Mac was very intuitive, and I think he was. What was he 4? Like he could have. He could have won.
Yeah. Should we just talk about Johnny Mac instead of Scotty? But have
please
Scotty's
don't talk about
here?
Scotty.
Just have Scotty's photo here. I don't dislike Scotty. I just think it's funnier to talk about Johnny Mac.
Scotty was not. I don't think he's underrated.
That's a random two people to get mixed up. That's like two random people.
Is it that random? They look a little similar.
You think Scotty can be a dentist?
That.
No.
But when it comes to Johnny Mac, I think Johnny Mac's like first half of that game. Love you, Johnny Mac. That game was terrible for the first half of it, but once he gets evicted and battles back, he locks in, and that's all that matters. He gets evicted, he wins the battle back, and he does form that alliance with Vanessa, saying, "Hey, we're the two best players here." He's bullshitting her because he's not the second best player there. But like, "Hey, we're the two best players here, so let's work together instead of hating each other." He does run that in-game stretch, and I don't know what his jury prospects are, but I just feel like if he's in the final two, I kind of just feel like Johnny Mac would win, except not against Vanessa. But I feel like next to Steve or Liz, I think Johnny Mac would win the season if he's at the end.
He was likable. I think he was really likable, and he could have used that to win over, like you said, anybody but Vanessa.
Yeah, he also had the ultimate underdog story. I don't got his stats written down, but Johnny Mac's nominated like 9 times during that season. He wins like 4 vetoes. He would have had the underdog story if he gets to the end and he's the one that cut Vanessa. Yeah, he could have won that season.
Yep, he was nominated 9 times. He won 4 vetoes, 1 got out of the block.
I knew that shit. That's crazy.
When I think of Johnny Mac, I think of that. What's it called? That fake boy band. What's it called?
I forget what it's called, but that was also almost my photo for Jason.
Oh,
I had to do Jason's photos.
Oh,
that was so funny.
I can't remember their boy.
Why can't I remember the name?
I just remember the white fedoras, the all white, like Lord have mercy, like ooh, cha. No, but you know what? Johnny Mac, I think of a personality. I don't think of it. I think of his laugh. I think of the way he talks.
Wax Street Boys.
Wax Street Boys. Hallelujah. Come on. I like he does play. He ends up in what, 4th place?
Yeah.
4th place in a season full of wow. No, that's a good season. You know what? I need to rewatch it. I think that's my conclusion. I don't know if I have much to say about Johnny Mac because I just simply can't remember him. But I remember he was not good in the beginning, but he ends up like kind of propelling himself, like
Mm-hmm.
later down in the line. Like that's what I remember. And I correct me if I'm wrong. Is he not a key ally of Steve?
He's like Steve's number one ally for like the
From the
whole jury
beginning.
phase.
Yeah. And I remember them being somewhat of a force, and like I think he gets shadowed. My God, not overshadowed by the twins and their stuff. Steve cutting Vanessa herself, Austin being barefoot, Davon,
All of that.
Mother, Rogers. Come on now, like this is a stacked cast, and I think he kind of blends it. But from what I remember, he was kind of a star in amongst them when the season was airing, at least with the casuals.
Yeah, I remember being shocked he didn't win AFP. He didn't win America's Favorite, and James won it. I was shocked at the time. I was like, Johnny Mac didn't win?
James won too.
Yeah, I like James, but I didn't think people liked James. Like, I didn't think people it's all that pranking. They love it when someone pranks people.
I guess, girl. He was like a little fucking kid.
When I think of Johnny Mac, I always think of like Clay telling him not to use the veto on himself. He goes, "No, I'm not. I'm not doing that." No, like that's what I remember. It's because why would you ask someone to do that? That's not named Tucker. Like,
Oh, got him.
now, Eddie, Tori, you have any thoughts on Johnny Mac / Scotty?
I did not BB17, so
You should watch
I
BB
got-
You haven't
17.
seen 17.
no, I gotta watch it. It's on my list. BB seasons are long, y'all. Getting through all these seasons now. It's a whole thing.
Now, when we first got hired, I watched you in that Discord talk about every new era season you watched in preparation for 50. You could binge watch. So you could binge watch.
Oh.
17.
Big Brother seasons are harder to watch than Survivor. Survivor is easy to watch. Well, Big Brother has like twice the
I
amount
agree.
of episodes.
Not a good
Big
Okay.
Brother
season.
has twice
And
the amount of
I hear you
episodes.
now. And I hear you. And now I hear you. At first you
And half
lost
of
me,
the-
but I hear you.
And the thing about Big Brother episodes is like half the stuff isn't even relevant. It's just like
Yeah.
stupid shit that they're doing in the house. So it's like really hard to rewatch, honestly.
Specifically with 17, Steve and Johnny Mac have like a core alliance for like the whole first half of the game, and they never showed that on the episodes until like the end game.
That's what I'm
'Cause-
saying.
So yeah, but I think that's all we got to say about them. I think we're done with everything. Does anyone have any final thoughts about anything? Anyone that we didn't mention that you think is underrated?
Like honorable
yeah.
mentions.
Yeah, just like quick honorable mentions we don't got to talk about.
Anyone underrated? There are a few people. I guess Nokomis could be mentioned. I think she may be a little underrated. Shout out Project DNA.
Yeah. Probably a good thing you weren't on that BB7 game review where we dragged Nokomis for like an hour.
I mean, I can't speak to her BB7 game. I'm thinking BB5 really.
Yeah.
Who else I think is underrated? BB6 was full of crackheads, respectfully. That house is chaotic. I think we did season 9 is like the ghost season.
Camp POC. What was his name? He's on RHAP right now.
Cliff.
Cliff, is that his name? He was in Camp POC when they had to go. He was what is his goddamn name?
Ovi?
Ovi. I think Ovi
Ovi does
is
our
underrated.
Yeah, he's like on one of the How They Lost podcasts or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah. I think honorable mention. I think he had the bones to play a good game, but that season was rigged against anybody that came in there with any little bit of color, any plump lips, anything like that. They was like, they gotta go.
Yeah, I think I like Obi. I think Obi's like a different type of video where it's like potential, like just like I feel like you have potential if you were given like a fair shot because he just wasn't.
Yeah, that is one of those where I guess it's more of that than underrated. But I still think people don't talk about him. But I guess the reason is because of how that season was, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think I have any underrated mentions. I think I could. I pressed the wrong button on my computer. I was trying to pull up the slides. There we go. They back up there. All right, let's head into it. Check out the Discord because the Discord, we always be in there talking, yapping. Some people will be saying some outlandish shit. You know, Tori be in there saying crazy shit.
Per usual.
The Discord's a fun time. We need to update this photo because we got a lot more people in there now than this number.
Like 61, girl.
Yeah, she needs to be updated.
we're about to hit Big Brother season. Okay, this is the off-season pod. Imagine what's gonna be like during the live feeds. Okay, it's gonna be insane in there. It's gonna get wicked. What's the next slide? Go head to the Patreon. Okay, we got the reality T segments. We got Kingdom's Choice. If you guys are Love Island fans, they got the Love Island watch-alongs. And I don't really watch Love Island like that, but I keep up casually. I'm getting the clips for the people, but I do be in these watch-alongs because it'd be fun as hell. Just people in the chat, and I'd be bullshit during those Patreon chats because I do not watch the show. They look into the schedule. Like I said, Love Island. They be on this bitch every night. Okay, I don't know what else to say. The Love Island every single day. I don't know if it needs as many episodes, but you know what? I guess it does. And then on Monday, we also got 90 Day Fiance, Real Housewives, Bad Boys of the Dominican Republic. Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we got Big Brother All-Stars Rewind. Tuesday and Thursday are Lee and Pharaoh. Friday with me, Cass, and some special guests doing some game reviews. And I think I have realized, I don't know if I want to say all these, but we're already too deep in. Wednesday, we got Traders New Zealand hosted by me.
Bro, you don't gotta say it all. You don't gotta say it all.
Saturday, RuPaul Drag Race All-Stars. The other days,
still going with
After Dark. Yeah, I think that's all my slides. Remove it. Shout out to y'all. Big Brother off season is here. We're almost at the season. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Bye.
Ooh, we got